everybody. My name is David, and I am one of the founders and the CEO of the Weird Homes Tour. And we have a very cool treat tonight. One of our favorite new people that we've met in 2020 is our friend Dave, otherwise known as Winston the Whale. And
Hello.
Tonight he's going to give us an amazing tour of his super cool spot in Portland. So that said, I will turn it over to you and let you start kind of exploring and showing us what you got going on.
Okay, sweet. Hi everybody, I'm Dave. I'm gonna actually just flip the camera around here so that you guys aren't looking at me and looking at my spot. Let's see here. Bloop. There we go. All right. So I guess I can start at the entrance, right? That's where it all starts. But yeah, just kind of trying to blast as much color as possible. So yeah, lots of fun stuff, some positive affirmations, by the door to keep you feeling good. And yeah, and then I put up this rainbow chain curtain thing, when it hangs down, it's pretty cool. Yeah, just as much color as possible, I guess. One thing that I really like about the entrance that I did a while ago, I got some vintage 70s fabric. I got quite a bit of it, as you can see there, and I just kind of pinned it up on the ceiling, so when you walk in, it's just more stuff above you as well as all around you.
I love that.
Yeah, for sure. And then yeah, lots of plastic, lots of yellow and orange, and lots of nice round smooth edges. I love that shit. Yeah.
And tell me a little bit, when did you move in here, and how long have you been kind of transforming your space?
I moved in here in October of 2018, and I never really had the proper space to kind of like flex what I wanted to do with the style until I had this spot. And so tattooing and being an artist kind of have been conducive both financially and creatively to kind of like figure out what I wanted to do. So yeah, and this space has a lot. I mean, it's pretty big. It's like, I think it's like 750 square feet of actual like usable space.
Yeah.
So it gave me enough to kind of like play around with, and it's got the built-ins and that kind of stuff, which fill those up with fun stuff, and yeah, so that's how it
do you remember what was the first thing that you put in your apartment, I guess, when you were kind of like, hey, I'm gonna make this exactly how I want it? What was kind of the first thing you went out and got?
Yeah, I think that one of the first things actually was this dresser here. This is Chapter 1 Broyhill, sorry, is the manufacturer. Chapter 1 is the series, and I had always wanted one of these, and it was one of the first like major pieces I got for the space. And I ended up here. I'm gonna slowly pan, trying not to move around too fast. I ended up getting, this is the bedroom. I ended up getting a matching nightstand. And so I think, and then this little dresser here, which is actually made by, I think, Bassett, but they I think those pieces were some of the first three, and kind of set the tone, so to speak, kind of set me on the path of like the bright, plastics, smooth, shiny, colors and all that.
Yeah, and does this reflect in your work? Tell people a little bit about your day job and some of the art you create.
Yeah, well, actually, I can go show you guys a little bit. I've got some pieces. I'm working on a print release right now, so this is one of the pieces. This is a painting. I'm working on a print release that's going to be based off of this painting. And this is some Blacklight poster that I did a while ago. So, I mean, I would say I would say that they work off of one another, you know, the colors, lots of round, you know, round shapes and all of that, and you know, smooth lines and clean lines. So I'd say that the interior decor reflects that same attention to like clean geometry as well as like these kind of round bubbly colors.
Yeah, absolutely. It's gorgeous. And were you always into art? Just tell us a little bit about maybe, into high school and after that, how did you kind of express yourself? Was it always this type of art or was it
Well,
street art?
yes, started off as a graffiti artist. Sorry, I just put the chain curtain down there. It's fun to look at. I started off doing graffiti and street art, and it was quite a bit different actually. Lots of clean lines, but the aesthetic itself was quite a bit different. Um, and yeah, it just kind of has evolved into what it is now. But yeah, I mean, I've been painting or you know whatever, drawing and painting since I was in high school. So you know, it's always been there, but it's of course changed over time. I'd say that lately, you know, paying homage to like psychedelic art has been a big direction that I'm going in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I know we're based out of Austin, Texas. So, 13th floor and Rocky Erickson and all the very cool psychedelic stuff that came out of the Austin scene too. But
Totally.
so tell me a little bit about some of your influences in that kind of psychedelic movement.
Definitely like the Yellow Submarine, Peter Max, Milton Glaser. Those guys, you know, had definitely played a big. I wouldn't say that they've necessarily influenced my art directly, but you know, they're just such iconic psychedelic artists. And then lots of like cool old black art posters. I'm really into old black art I'm sorry, black light posters. Um, so yeah, uh, that's to name a few. But also like you know Werner Panton and like all the cartel stuff in terms of like you know furniture and interior decor. That kind of stuff definitely has played a big influence on the interior design stuff. So
And
yeah,
no, that's great. Lots of good people for our audience to go look up for sure. Tell us
sure.
a little bit about those built-ins, because I think you mentioned that earlier, and it is pretty amazing to come into a space that has these type of built-ins already done. How are you kind of deciding what goes in there, and maybe give us
I
a
mean,
little
just
tour?
yeah, just toys. I'm just like as many toys as I can pack in there. Um, I don't know, just trying to have fun with it. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, I was really stoked on the built-ins for sure. And I'm actually moving soon into an old Victorian house here in Portland. And so that'll be interesting too because it's also got all kinds of built-ins and nooks and crannies and cool little details. It'll be a bit of a style mesh to work with, but it'll be fun. So
And
yeah.
tell us a little bit about just how do you find some of this stuff? Like, where are the good places you go to get not just the furniture, but all the stuff you're showing us right now?
All the toys and all that.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
yeah, it's mixed, but it's such a random like you know some stuff is from Etsy or eBay, some stuff is from vintage stores, some stuff is from the thrift store, some stuff is from estate sales. It's just totally a mixed bag of. I'm looking wherever I go, and then every once in a while I'll go online whenever I'm, you know, maybe I'm hitting kind of a lull with the local spots, but yeah.
Oh, those are great. All the little
Yeah.
clowns and frogs and everything's got a great retro touch.
Yeah, I love, I don't know what it was about piggy banks back in the day, but I think it just gave them a reason to turn any little tchotchke into a functional tchotchke. But everything has a little slot in it, so you could technically put money in a lot of this stuff. Which I don't think I have enough coinage to fill all of my piggy banks up, but piggy banks were a big thing for a while there. Like half of this stuff has a slot in the back of it. You know what I mean? Like, boop, put a coin in it. So I have a lot of piggy banks or coin banks, whatever you want. I guess they're not technically pigs, but yeah.
No, we get what you mean for sure. And where
Yeah.
did you get those shelves and just like in general those kind of shelves? Where did you get those from, and what's kind of the inspiration there?
So actually, this is called Umbo, UMBO, by a designer K. Leroy Ruggles, who designed them in the 70s. It's a modular shelving system. So as you can see, it's divided up into pieces. And so you can take it apart and rearrange it. So you can have different sections located in, you can rearrange how it's laid out. So yeah, those are really cool. And of course they're plastic and round and shiny. So it's all the best things all in one. Yeah.
Love it. And how do you see when you move into that Victorian? Is this expanding, contracting, same sort of vibe you think that you'll have here?
I'm going to go for the same vibe in terms of the style, but it's going to be interesting because it's going to look a lot different in the space. It's an old Victorian with lots of like really bulky trim around doors and windows and interesting little ornamentations in the trim and all of that, which this space is really clean. As you can see, it's just got these really clean round lines that are very conducive to all of the stuff that I've got. So it'll be, like I said, a bit of a mesh of styles, or I'm trying to not make it clash. I'm trying to make it work together, but it'll be interesting, It'll be interesting. I'm looking forward. I'm both dreading it and looking forward to it. So, yeah.
Oh, I think that's everyone with every move, right?
Yeah, I mean moving in general, right? But do you guys want to see the blacklight?
Yeah,
stuff?
yeah. Show us around with some of these blacklight posters for sure.
Yeah. So, let's just do it how it's meant to be done. There we go. Yeah. So I've just collected various blacklight posters from different artists, and yeah, just trying to get as many on my hands as possible that kind of fit the style and stuff. And last night I was like getting my space all tidied up for this tour, and I realized that these rainbow chains are actually UV reactive. So I put them up all over my room. So I'm having a lot of fun with that. I know it's kind of goofy, but I'm having a ton of fun with it.
No, it looks great. And are people still making a lot of blacklight posters? Is it kind of having a resurgence, or do you go find older stuff?
Yeah, totally. So there's actually a guy in Texas that goes by the Cat Palace, who he prints he prints posters. He does screen printing, but he figured out how to do this really interesting technique called flocking, which I'm sure you guys have heard of it, but it's that fuzzy, when the black is fuzzy, it has that like felt texture to it. So he printed this one and that one right there and that one, as well as this one. And so he's kind of been he single-handedly has been responsible for kind of a resurgence in blacklight art and with the kind of, I guess he kind of hits more of the contemporary lowbrow demographic or crowd or genre or whatever you want to call it. But so yeah, we're definitely seeing a little bit more of a resurgence in blacklight art coming back around. So that's been good. I'm stoked on that.
Yeah, and then I think you mentioned that you're also starting to do some blacklight of your own and do your own runs. Or is there a place people can go and check it out or buy some of
Yeah,
your art?
so the last one's this one right here is one of the ones that I printed, or that I had printed, designed, and then that guy right there with the little smiley faces. I've sold out of those, so I'm working again, like I said, on another run of some new designs right now. So hopefully in the next like month or so, I'll have those up for sale, and I'll be posting about all that on Instagram. So yeah.
That's great. And then tell us, tell us the name of the artist you said out of Texas is actually kind of doing the resurgence. What was his Instagram again?
The Cat Palace. So like, like a kitty cat palace.
Great.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
we'll be sure to link that and get him some love for sure.
Yeah, he's rad. He's like an old skater guy that screen prints too, and he just kind of figured out how to do this flocking stuff, and has now been offering to print for people. So yeah. Cool.
That's great. And then I think did you want to show us the kitchen, or how you've kind of done some stuff in the kitchen?
Sure. Honestly, I'm not much of a kitchen guy. They asked for this earlier too, and I was like, okay. So the kitchen is really boring. Like I said, I'm not much of a kitchen guy, so it's pretty boring, pretty basic. Of course, the colors and all that, but I haven't really given it I've got a couple like little, like little vintage pieces and stuff like that. I've got an old crock pot that's orange with flowers on it and stuff. But other than that, I don't know. It's not an area of the house, the apartment, I've given a ton of attention to. But I can show you maybe my studio where I draw.
Yeah, we'd love that.
Yeah. So that's back here. Let's see. Yeah, so this is the area where I draw, do most of my art and stuff. And I've been able to get my hands on a few pieces that, like this vintage, this is called a utensilo. And then some other kind of random knickknacks and stuff. But yeah, it's my little, I spent a lot of time here.
No, it looks great.
And this is kind of a weird, I didn't talk about this earlier because I'm honestly a little bit embarrassed about it, but I've got this little side room here. It's this weird little nook room where there used to be a door, a screen door, where there was a hallway that went into the building.
Oh, wow.
That they capped off, and now I've got an elliptical in here. But yeah, I put some AstroTurf down to pretend like I'm running on grass. And yeah, it's kind of a weird little add-on room.
No, everyone has that little weird space in their home, man. I think we're making a whole business out of those weird little spaces, right?
Yeah, I don't have that in my new space, so I'm gonna have to get rid of the elliptical and like figure out something. I don't know what to do with that AstroTurf there. Maybe I'll find another little nook in the new space to turn it into a fake outdoor room.
And tell us a little bit about, I saw you have some posters and some art on the wall that almost look like they're carpet or fabric or
Oh yeah.
Tell folks a little about those.
They're called Latch-hook Rugs. So they're, let me see, it's all attached to the wall there, but I've got a few of them. I mean, they were really popular back in like the 70s and 80s and stuff. see if I can find another one here. Oh yeah, right here. This one, this is actually a really iconic one. They mass produced this one, and I've seen a few other people that have them, but they're cool. I don't know. It's nice to have a piece that's kind of like got some texture and it pops off the wall a little bit. And I've got one that I needed to work on, but you can actually get latch hook kits where you can make your own, and it's a pretty simple procedure. It just comes with this weird little net stuff, and then you've got a little tool, and you just pull your little pieces of rug or carpet through. But
seems like a very meditative thing to do.
It's something like that. Yeah. It's a little monotonous and it's a little tedious, but it's all right. Honestly, they're not that much fun to make, but because they just take forever.
I bet.
Yeah.
We love that plant holder right there is amazing as well.
Yeah, the what do you call those? Macrame?
Yeah, that's right.
Hanger. Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, well, great. I think the only other question that I saw people had too was, I think there was a painting on the wall or a piece of art kind of like right behind you that was over your little dining room table with the two chairs.
Oh, this one.
Yeah, and who did that, and tell us more about that.
I don't know who designed it. I got it off of a vintage vendor here in Portland who bought the piece of textile fabric and then stretched it. So I don't know who designed it or who manufactured the fabric or the textile, but I love it. It's great. It's cool, super cool and bold, and has all those shapes and colors and stuff that I love. So
yes, exactly. Bold is the perfect word for it.
Yeah. And then I've got this one. This one's really cool because it's made of linen, so it's got a really nice kind of texture to it. It's got that linen texture to it. So yeah, got both of those off of the same person here in Portland who bought the fabric and then stretched it.
Love it. And so tell folks how they can get a hold of you. Obviously you're a very well-known tattoo artist, but tell folks how they can get a hold of you if you're
just follow me on follow me on Instagram. It's at Winston the Whale, and that's mostly when I'm booking. I'm currently not booking, but when I am, that's where I announce it and do it all. So yeah.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for the time today. I think your space has such a bold kind of vision. It's super interesting. There's good themes. It all ties together. I think it's super interesting. We talk a lot about people who are kind of afraid to just, buy that purple chair or put up that purple wall. And that's kind of why we do what we do, is to inspire people to go home and say, you know what, I saw this amazing, bold 2001 psychedelic home. And you know what, I'm going to buy that chair and not worry about what people think. So
I dig it.
I love it. I think your home is a prime example of like, have a vision, execute on the vision, and enjoy where you live. Don't worry about, keeping that wall white eggshell with shiplap because you're going to sell it 3 years from now. You should be waking up and enjoying
if you
it.
don't want to paint the wall, put some crazy art on it, Like,
exactly.
Nice thing about art is that you can move it around. So yeah, don't be afraid of color. I agree with that wholeheartedly. I've been in a lot of homes and I've seen a lot of lack of color. And it's nice to see people bringing it in when they do. So yeah.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for the time. We look forward to 2021 when we're in Portland. We'll come say hi in person. All right.
Cool. Sounds good.
All right. Thanks.
All right.
Night, everybody.
Take care.
Cheers.
Bye.